What is going on, everyone? It's Jay here. Before I start this video, I actually want to just say thank you guys for the support that you guys are continuing to give me even after my hiatus. In the most recent video, in only under 100 views, I almost have 10 likes. That is honestly amazing, and I really do appreciate you guys still hanging around and watching my videos, even though I am a little bit set back by the issue that I was presented with, if you will. As an update, I still haven't found that actuator, or rather I just haven't really gotten around to get that part. I hope that I can get that part, and I hope I can recover my data, but if not, I'm gonna really be in the process of trying to get a lot of stuff back. But the topic of this video is actually going to be on at least any of the information that has been released so far of this 15th anniversary campaign at the Square Enix Cafe, where there was some sort of interview with Yasu and Nomura, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I think that only Nomura was really talking, but Yasu was definitely there. Now, currently, the only information that we have from this interview that is translated is stuff about Xehanort and Xemnas' models, some characters' heights. There is also some information about the confusion surrounding Ventus, Larium, and the story of Union Cross. I will only go over that briefly because I don't think that really needs to be explained. And then, of course, what I find most interesting, and I think you guys kind of saw this coming, is how the possibility of another playable character, but this one is within a certain world. And sorry, I got the other person mixed up. The person who was also within the interview was Mr. Yamasaki, which is the lead character modeler for Kingdom Hearts 3. Tetsuya Nomura was with him during this sort of interview. So let's save the juicy stuff for last. In the first part, Mr. Yamasaki reported that young Xehanort and Xemnas are still going under development for Kingdom Hearts 3, so their faces still need some adjustments. Basically, I really like this because you see that the director, or rather the lead character modeler for Kingdom Hearts 3, is definitely listening to the feedback that the Kingdom Hearts fans are giving, even though the game isn't even out, only based upon a few trailers. Personally, to me, I did think that Xemnas looked extra weird. Yeah, Xemnas looked really weird. Like, honestly, guys, come on. If you look at Xemnas from Kingdom Hearts 2, any game in honesty, that is before this Kingdom shader, and then look at the one in the trailer that was most recent and showed Xemnas, he looked a little bit strange. His eyes were weird. He had the strongest chin. It was just weird. His hair was fine, but his face was just a little bit off to me, personally. So I do appreciate that he is taking a look at that. Now, the only other thing that I had in it that I didn't really have an issue with was young Xehanort. A lot of people thought that because he was in the Toy Story world that he would be more like a Ken doll, but the organization members never cared about their appearance in Disney worlds. That's just how it was. They did not care about their appearance. They did not change their appearance based on the world. So that was how young Xehanort looked, indefinitely. Personally, I thought he looked really good. The only thing that there just wasn't anything that I really had an issue with. Like, his eyes were really, really good. Like, if you looked at Xemnas' eyes, I thought that his eyes were a little bit off. They looked like a mix between yellow and orange, literally, as if he was a vampire from Twilight. Meanwhile, when you looked at young Xehanort, his eyes were like a nice mix between yellow and orange, like a horizon color. And it wasn't really glowing, of course, because their eyes don't naturally glow. But there was like a very nice, vibrant hue to it to me. And I thought that young Xehanort's model was honestly fine. But if they think that it needs to have improvement, then I'm all for it. But Xemnas, I definitely thought that needed improvement. His face was just a little bit off to me. It felt like his face was a lot skinnier. No, the part about characters' heights, like, they talked about Sora's height and how he's basically 5'3". You know, to me, this information isn't really all that. You know what I mean? It's just surprising to me that Sora is 5'3", so he's relatively short. I just never. Well, I mean, he was short. I mean, Riku was always taller than him, but you know, I feel like that was just something that was a given. And then meanwhile, Xehanort is about a little under 6 feet. I don't know if they were talking about young Xehanort or the regular Xehanort, the old one. You know, to me, this really isn't amazing news. It's just, you know, a little sparkle here and there. And then, like I said, I want to very briefly get into the little information that they gave us, rather Tetsuya gave us, about Ventus, Larium, and Union Cross. Basically, he stated that the character of Ventus, who is in Birth by Sleep, is the same person, in quotes, as seen in Union Cross. You know, now, that could mean that my theory is very plausible, where the Ventus that we know of in Union Cross is the original, I guess you could say, and then he was thrusted somewhere, I think the realm of darkness, but into the future, and that's where he is in Birth by Sleep. Some think that since now that time travel is a thing, that possibly the Ventus that we know of in Birth by Sleep was thrusted backwards into time and put into Union Cross. But I just don't think that that would make sense because his hair is a lot shorter. I mean, when you time travel, but your appearance shouldn't change from what you look like. Also, time travel is a very weird thing. Can't really, you know, the way that they explained it in Kingdom Hearts to me, I am still fucking confused. I don't even... Basically, all I know is that you need to be a Heartless in order to time travel, or a version of you specifically needs to be there in order for you to time travel. So, I don't really understand it, how it works fully still. I hope they really cleared up in Kingdom Hearts 3. But the way that I look at this is that Ventus is probably just there originally in Union Cross, and then he was thrusted into the future. And then he did talk about Larium and Marluxia, and he was asked if they were the same person. He says Larium is Larium. I saw that there were some people that were a little bit confused about this. There's nothing really confusing about it, in honesty. Basically, all he's saying is that Larium is Larium. He is his own person. He is his real person. Marluxia is his nobody. It's a separate being that is the form of Larium's bodily form. You know what I mean? That's his nobody. But they're not the same person exactly. Talking about this briefly, because and then he states that Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, it will not be completed in Kingdom Hearts 3. Not everything will be revealed in Kingdom Hearts 3 about Union Cross. I don't exactly have an issue with this, but at the same time, the way that Union Cross, not even that, the way that Key started off. I know that Union Cross is an entirely different thing that is supposed to be branched off from Key into Kingdom Hearts 3 with its own story and everything. But let's say that my theory where the Dark Will, the one that controls Xehanort with the yellow eyes and everything, is stemmed from Union Cross, possibly being Luxu. Let's just say that for now. Wouldn't this also be a part, Union Cross being, still be a part of the Xehanort saga? So why... I don't understand how Union Cross can even continue if Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be the Xehanort saga ending. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me fully. I know that Union Cross is a real good way to continue the Kingdom Hearts story on a mobile phone. Also, it is basically a money tree for Square Enix, but I feel like there has to be an end for this. I don't understand how the story can continue beyond Kingdom Hearts 3. It just doesn't make sense to me fully. I guess we'll just have to see. And then I do want to also finally talk about playable characters in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, this was not even a surprise. This is nothing new. Nomura definitely hinted at the possibility of a second playable character in this game. But now when we talked to the lead character modeler of this game, Mr. Yamasaki, he confirmed that there would be a new playable character other than Sora present in Kingdom Hearts 3. He also stated that such a world would come out where this is possible, but nothing we can tell you right now. Of course, they're going to keep everything under wraps. This also continues to say that he states that we want to put an emphasis on the play elements of each world, but they want to keep some worlds a secret. Before I even get into the playable character thing, I wanted to say that with that statement, I think he's basically saying that we might not see all the world reveals. We might get, I don't know, we might, but we might not. That's simply all I can say. We might be able to see every single world that is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. We might not. We'll just have to see what goes on. Now I want to talk about this possible playable character. Who could it be? Now, there was a lot of speculation that Xehanort or Ericus, everyone wanted Xehanort though, so that because the Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to heavily base around young Ericus's and young Xehanort's origin and their relationship together. Being that that's seen in one of the original Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, where it is the conversation between Ericus and Xehanort in their young forms on the chessboard talking about the Keyblade War, is actually the beginning scene in Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of people speculated that you can possibly play as Xehanort in the beginning of the game as a tutorial stage. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be a great addition to Kingdom Hearts 3, being able to play as the main antagonist in his young form right around the time when he possibly got possessed and obsessed with the darkness, and then making it like a 1 hour, 2 hour segment of playing with that character as a tutorial and gaining a lot of story and origin for those two characters and possibly their master. See who their master possibly is, because I possibly think that it's either Lucio or Ephemir, but I think it's obviously Lucio since he was told to give that Keyblade to his apprentice. So it's possibly Lucio in someone else's body that is the master of those two characters. But why stop there? I think it is definitely possible that there would be multiple different characters that you can play as. I've already talked about this myself, possibly being at the end game where they're all at the Keyblade graveyard. You can switch between characters. Every single Guardian of Light will be in like a party of 3 or 2, and you can literally switch between every single Guardian of Light, or at least get to play them at least once so that you can fight every single Seeker of Darkness. But that's just my theory, that's just my hopes. But what it's saying in here is that there will be one world that will allow the possibility of you playing as a different character. So this is just interesting to me. So one world in Kingdom Hearts will be fully based on playing on a different character's model. Now, does that, to me, I'm thinking, does that mean even though I complete that world, for example, the world of Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis rather, what if they, I hope to God, what if they bring that world in, and in that specific world you play as Lee, for example. If we complete that world and I go back to that world, even though they say that there shouldn't be a need to go back to worlds anymore, it's going to only be like a one visit thing, will I be able to go back and play as Lee, or will I go back as Sora? That's one thing that I'm a little bit confused about, as far as one world allowing you to play as a new playable character. Now let's get on the topic of who it could be. I don't think it could be Riku. We've already played as Riku. I think we can definitely play as Riku again, but I don't think it's going to be Riku. Only because he's going to be on his own path of being able to try and get Aqua out of the realm of darkness and possibly trying to save any other Guardian of Light that is lost in darkness, the way that the description of the game provides. Now Kairi, that's definitely a possibility, but I want to play as Kairi. I think that is going to be a definite thing. If it's not, there's going to be something wrong, because we've already played as Sora. I mean, he's obviously the main protagonist of the game. We've already played as Riku in several different occasions. I think it is only fitting that we should be able to play as Kairi in this last game and get a feel for her fighting style now that she's going to become a master with Lee. So I think it is definitely possible that we'll be able to either play as either Kairi or maybe another Guardian of Light, being Lee. He is a brand new Keyblade wielder. He is becoming a master in the process, and he is going to be learning how to wield the Keyblade and master its power. So those are my guesses for new playable characters. Definitely Riku, maybe, but you see, I want to be able to play as many Guardians of Light as possible, because even though Sora is going to be extremely overpowered, his new power in general, now that he is a Keyblade master, is Keyblade transformation. There are obviously going to be Keyblades that we cannot acquire, that being Kairi's Keyblade, Riku's Keyblade, and Lee's Keyblade. as well as Aqua's Keyblade, Ventus's Keyblade, Terra's Keyblade. That's why I really hope that I will be able to play as each Guardian of Light at least once, so that I can experience every single Keyblade transformation that there is, including other Keyblade wielders' Keyblades. The Way to Dawn, and then Kairi's Keyblade, the Bond of Flame, Master Ericus's Keyblade, or possibly Aqua's Rainfall. I forget the real name. I think it's Down Rainfall, something like that. If that one has a Keyblade transformation. Well, I guess I wouldn't really say all of their base Keyblades because their Keyblade transformations were their ships. But I guess they can make like a really nice animation of an attack for that. Really, what I wanted to talk about was this new playable character and how it's going to be playable in only one world, or possibly only at one certain time. Will there be other characters that we can play in certain times, like Xehanort at the beginning of the game, Kairi in one specific world, and then Ventus and, or rather maybe Roxas and Lee fighting together on the same side at the end game at the Keyblade Graveyard? You know what I mean? I think that would be really intuitive and really great fan service to allow us to play as several different characters in the final Xehanort arc in this Xehanort saga, the final one, Kingdom Hearts 3. This is it. Like, they really need to go all out and all in and just please as many people as possible, as much as they possibly can. Now, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Before this video ends, I do want to even say that the information from this interview is possibly ever growing. I don't think it is over as far as translations. The information we got about the character models being changed over time from the feedback of fans, and then this one being where there's going to be a possible playable character in a certain world. These are two different sets of articles, so I do think that it's possible that the translation of a full interview is not fully finished, or this could just possibly be the only interesting information that was taken from this interview. So it's possible that I'll make another video about this stuff, because I just made a video about this because it's really interesting to me. You guys should know by now that I really am interested in the idea of getting new playable characters within Kingdom Hearts 3. And then I was really interested in the fact that there was kind of fan feedback, I guess you could say, that was listened to from the character modeler about Xemnas and young Xehanort. Like I said, I don't think that young Xehanort was really much of an issue, but as long as they are listening to their fans, that's all that matters. That's all that is really what matters. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely leave a like up and subscribe if you're not already. I know that this one is a pretty long one, so I do appreciate if you guys were in this for the whole thing. Thanks for watching. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.